Woo! What's going on, guys? Yes, I didn't do my spin. I didn't do my spin today because I felt like it needed something new. I felt like with everything going on the past few days, I've made a couple videos in case you guys ain't noticed. We needed to have a conversation. It needed to be different. Shout out to Jess Corden, man. He is probably one of the most luckiest people I know. Now, I don't know. For those of you who don't know, Phil Spencer, he got an interview with Phil Spencer right after the CFO thing. I don't know if this was a last minute thing. I don't know. All I know is Jess Corden is a lucky dude to get him right after this interview. We're going to go over the interview. There's a couple things that I want to talk about specifically, but I think it's going to be an engaging conversation. You know, put in the comment section below if you guys like the new view, man. Do you guys like this? Should we go with something like this, guys? Or should we go back to the one previous or the one before that? Put in the comment section below. I need your guys' opinion. All right, so let's get into this. Let's get into this article, man. This article is kind of crazy, and it's really funny the timing that man's got, Jess Corden. So as you can see, here's the interview with Phil Spencer by Jess Corden. It's over there on Windows Central. I really recommend you guys go watch it. I mean, it's a written article. I think you guys will enjoy this article. There's a couple things I want to go over specifically that I think is very important in this particular thing that's going on. First thing I want to talk about, obviously, is on Game Pass coming to other platforms and future hardware platforms. We're going to talk about that for sure. I think that this is a very key point in the interview. And then what I want to talk about is Xbox kind of in the family plan with the handheld. There's a lot of things we can go over there as well. Then I want to talk about the Activision dormant franchises, that nostalgia. You know, Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer have talked about, you know, whether or not they're going to really captivate on these older IPs. So let's get straight into this, man. Because first off, once again, I'm gonna put the link to this in the description. Go over there and watch it. I mean, read it. There's a lot of stuff going over there, and I think you guys would really appreciate it. So obviously he asks him when it comes to whether or not there's going to be, you know, another Xbox. Are they going third party? And, you know, let's read what Jess says. He said, I asked Phil about the CFO Tim Stewart recently comments regarding Xbox Game Pass. Stewart, in presentation with Wells Fargo, said that Microsoft's aim was to bring Xbox Game Pass to any screen that can play games, including Nintendo, PlayStation. Many Xbox fans took that indicate that Microsoft is preparing the industry to go where Xbox hardware no longer exists. Since Xbox Game Pass and its exclusives are primarily valued driven for Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and the Xbox One hardware. Phil says, I'll start by saying we have no plans to bring Game Pass for PlayStation or Nintendo. It's not in our plans. So he's like saying, yo, we ain't doing that. I know we've been told, but we ain't doing that. But I think you hit the right point in what it is to means to own an Xbox. The thing I want to focus on is how we continue to innovate for people who've made the commitment to our hardware platform, and how we continue to make sure they feel great about their investment in what we've built. First off, that's a strong statement right there, because that's saying, look, we understand that when people buy hardware, they want a little bit of that. We want to feel special. You know, we want to see that you guys are going above and beyond for our platform. And I think you're seeing a lot of that on here as well. So it's kind of interesting, man. It's interesting. I'm obviously going to have my own point of view on our hardware, but I think our hardware team did a great job with the Series X and S this generation, giving value and performance in the hardware line, where I think investment like Game Pass and Xbox Cloud gaming and crossplay and cross save and ID at Xbox, all these things I want us to continue to innovate so people in our console feel like we're making investments in console that matches their commitment they're making to us. Once again, you know, he's saying, look, we gave you the hardware, we gave you an affordable one, we gave you a powerhouse one. And we're also giving you services such as Game Pass. We're opening up our hardware to indie developers to give us more access to indie developers. There's a lot of things that we are doing to make these things have value. Game Pass is one of those things that, you know, the last 5 years we built and continue to grow. It's on PC, it's on cloud, and it's an important part of the Xbox console identity. And I think it will continue to be that. And we will continue to look at the future ways to us to innovate across our gaming portfolio and our platform. Once again, Phil was pretty much just saying here, you know, let me bounce back over here. Phil's just pretty much saying, look, the Xbox console is essential to our growth. It's essential to what we're doing here at Xbox and Microsoft for the foreseeable future. Me personally, I do think the console will eventually go, but it's going to be years and years and years from now where internet's not an issue, connectivity is not an issue, lagging is not an issue, and they've really cracked the cloud computing aspect of gaming. Is that now? Absolutely not. Is that the next 5 to 10 years? Probably more of the latter. I would say 10 to 15 years. So, and then what's interesting is, you know, he goes into talking about when it comes to, you know, more of the handheld market, more of just stuff in general like the Steam Deck and the Rogue Ally. He said, on the subject of innovation, I asked Spencer what might look like for the Xbox hardware in the future. We've seen in the rise of PC gaming handhelds like Steam Deck, the Asus Rogue Ally. We've seen Microsoft experiment with things like the Xbox Key Cloud, the Xbox Cloud gaming console, which sadly never launched. He said, we absolutely do. We just last month, we elevated Sarah Bond to be the president of Xbox, and the hardware team is in her organization. The platform and service team are in her organization. We made that organization move specifically to ensure we had an unfiltered focus for our individual roadmap across hardware and services. That includes the developer platform for Xbox consoles as well. That's iterative we're doing within teams, and we've been more talk about in terms of what we're doing in the hardware space and this the service space. And there's a lot of things that's going to, and we're always listening. A lot of great things for us to do, and we're always listening. I definitely butchered that. You guys know I can't read on camera very well. So that's pretty much what he's saying. Look, I feel like he kind of like sideswiped that. I think me personally, I think Jez was kind of asking him, you know, what's the future of stuff like the Steam Deck, Rogue Ally, you know, handheld gaming. I think he kind of gave them the answer, but I would have wanted more of, are they considering doing something similar to that, or are they just always going to go cloud streaming? I think that's my personal opinion on the matter. Now, we could talk a little bit about the family plan. He says, we're in Brazil right now, and I have a lot of cloud in my head. Brazil market for us is a big Game Pass market for us. Brazil is our second biggest PC market right now. We did our partnership with Samsung app for Samsung TV, and this has been our biggest year for people using Xbox Game Pass on TV. We're seeing a gaming use of cloud in Latin America, but also globally, where we had a pause on the Xbox Cloud development, which led to queue times around Starfield's launch. We began to start developing more blades and again to meet the growing demand. So that's pretty much what he's saying there. He's like, look, you know, we were focusing on other things, but we've seen a lot of other places in the world really are getting behind the mobile aspect, cloud aspect, and I think that's why, you know, he was saying we are picking that up and we're starting to do more R&R when it comes to cloud computing. And then Jazz asked a good question. He said, on the topic of product entitlement, I asked Phil for an update on the Xbox Family Plan. I made a couple videos about that on my channel. You guys know how it is. Xbox Family Plan is supposed to be like 5 people, like $25 a month. This is what Phil said. Yeah, there's a roadmap for Xbox Family Plan. We put it in market to learn. It's important for us, for everybody, to understand the Xbox game Pass, well, Game Pass, is mainly driven by our partners' content. Yes, we put our first-party games in day and date, and I think it's an important part of our equation. But we also have to grow a build service that works for creators heading into Xbox Game Pass as well. So he kind of didn't really talk about it too much in there as well. Like, obviously, we're probably going to get a family plan in the foreseeable future. I just don't know as of right now if they have anything on this. Then what I liked about here too, I'm not going to bring it up anymore. Like I said, excellent read in the description. Read it. He asked about, they talked about StarCraft. They talk about games that people want to see brought back into modern era, such as, Banjo-Kazooie. He actually brought up Banjo specifically. He said, I hear you, Banjo fans. He's like, but we got to find the right studio. He made a lot of statements saying that he doesn't like taking the original owners, taking the IP from them and give them to someone else, which I get to a point, but part of me at the same time is like, look, they can be involved, but if you're going to wait on them, I'm curious, does he mean they have to make the game or they have to approve who makes the game? I understand on that, but I think that's like a weird area. I would like to see a Banjo. I think a Banjo game would make huge strides and stuff on here. Now, when it comes to the whole interview in general, I think we can all agree things have been blown out of proportion the few days. The CFO, I don't think he was doing anything with malicious. I just think that because of the ABK deal closing, they're choosing their words very wisely, and I think that's key. What you're seeing here, you're seeing them changing the structure on how they're saying things, because now they own third-party publishers like ABK and Bethesda, and especially ABK. And I personally feel like if they are going to look for more publishers and studios, especially publishers, they're going to want to make sure that they come out as neutral as possible to the media, neutral as possible to, the internet in general, social media. You don't want word getting back to all of these people and all these organizations at the FTC, the CMA, that your ultimate goal is to lock everything behind your wall, to your wall garden, because I feel like that's going to make it a lot harder in the foreseeable future, like they have said, to buy more stuff, because they're going to have to worry about, if we go out here and we say stuff now, is that going to mean when we try to buy, let's say, Sega, Warner Brother, are they going to block it because of the statements now? So, look, I think statements should have been said differently and statements should have been worded better, but I don't think the CFO meant we're going to go to no hardware and we're going to push this third-party future. I don't think that was the goal at all. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys think about this. Shout out to Jez Courtney again, man. He hit it why the iron was hot, man. He did a good job. Proud of my dude Jez over there. But appreciate everyone for coming through. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. Man, this has been a crazy week.